Hello everyone and welcome to another round of Tuesday Night Legacy presented by Spellhold Games. We're here in round 2 from February 1st and we are getting into a combo versus combo match. We're going to have Max on Doomsday on the left and David with green-white depths on the right. A little bit different, they're two combo decks. Max is winning through a true combo, card after card after card says I win, versus David trying to play a giant creature that says can you beat this? If not, I win. Let's get started. All right, David on the play there with a basic fetch and pass. He goes for the fetch, and unfortunately, Max did have the Stifle, countering the target activated ability of that Windswept Heath, so he didn't get to get that land out of his deck. A huge tempo swing, basically meaning that David lost a turn there since he didn't get his land drop for turn 1. Max using Misty Rainforest, setting up his mana, gonna cast Baleful Strix. Baleful Strix is a really nice tempo play. You get a 1/1 flying Death Touch, which means that it's a pretty great blocker in almost every scenario, and it also replaces itself by drawing you a card. David plays Elvish Reclaimer. This is going to allow him to sacrifice a land and get any other land out of his deck for 2 mana and tapping the Reclaimer. Kind of setting up that Dark Depths Thespian Stage combo win. Max playing Uro Titans of Nature's Wrath. This card does everything. It comes down for 3 mana. You have to sacrifice it when it first comes into play, but it gains you 3 life, and you get to draw a card, and you get to play an extra land when it comes into play. Then you can sacrifice, or you can exile 5 cards from your graveyard and tap for 4 mana, and then you get to cast it from your grave and get it again. So, kind of setting up for it later. Knight of the Reliquary coming down on David's side. This card does a lot too, mostly finding more lands that you want, and it grows for each land in your graveyard. Kind of hard to swing in with 2 Baleful Strix now set up on Max's side. He's got the shields up, and he's kind of just waiting to do, well, he's looking for all kinds of different cantrips, and he's trying to set up his Doomsday win. So he gets to sit back on his haunches waiting if his opponent doesn't know that he's on the Doomsday combo win. This kind of just looks like a classic Sultai control list. All right, we have a Misty getting a Underground Sea, 2 mana open, casting Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay, destroying target non-land permanent, converted mana cost 3 or less, can't be countered, getting that Knight of the Reliquary out of there. Knight can get out of control, especially if there's a lot of cards in the grave, and it doesn't require any mana to activate that ability, so it can quickly get the correct lands that the player needs at any time. So, good choice getting it out of there. Dark Depths coming down for David. He does have the Thespian Stage and 2 other lands in play, meaning he has access to the Merit Lage at his leisure. He does pass it back to Max, though. So Max has mana open again, potentially for a Stifle, but we will see. Max thinking about his options here. He's got a hand of 5, hand of 6 even. Lots of cards for the combo player. 1 mana, Dark Ritual, 3 black mana, into Doomsday. Doomsday, search your library and graveyard for 5 cards and exile the rest. Put the chosen cards on top of your library in any order. You lose half your life, round it up. So this is the combo card win. Max is going to go and find 5 cards out of his deck and graveyard and set them up in such a way that by simply drawing and playing them, he will win the game. This is usually done on the same turn as to not allow the opponent to interact with you as minimally as possible. I think I said that right. Maybe not. So Max is looking through his deck, trying to figure it out. The Doomsday players almost always have a general option open of what the Doomsday win is, but in certain situations it's either easier or harder to get around. If you have to play through permission magic or discard or graveyard removal, sometimes that matters. Or even land destruction matters. So he's trying to hedge his bets on which is going to be the best. Oh, the other thing is that they are also all exiled. So your opponent does get to look through your entire deck list that is exiled. And if you are a seasoned Magic player, you can almost guess what the pile is. All right, here we go. Edge of Autumn. Cycling, he gets to draw a card by sacrificing a land. So he floated a mana. He cast Ideas Unbound. This draws him 3 cards, 1 card left in the deck. At the end of his turn, he's going to have to discard 3, but he's going to have won by that point, so it doesn't really matter. He ponders to draw an extra card. This is the final card in his deck. He casts a Lotus Petal, 2 Lotus Petals, sacrifices 1, and casts Thassa's Oracle. This is going to enter the battlefield and basically says he wins because there are no cards left in his deck, and his devotion to blue, it doesn't matter because he wins. So a very fun card for the combo player, a very chagrined card for everyone else. So we'll see. It's been sticking around for a couple years now, so it seems like it's here to stay. We're into match 2 here. David starting off with a Mox Diamond, pitching Thespian Stage, casting Green Sun Zenith for 0. This is going to get him Dryad Arbor, as the Arbor is a creature and a forest with CMC 0. A little bit of mana ramping early. Another Mox Diamond pitches Yavimaya, and his land for turn is Thespian Stage, so all he needs is the Dark Depths in order to set up the Merit Lage at this point. Alright, just a ponder from Max. And there it is, the Dark Depths. All right, so David's not taking any chances this time. He's popping it while Max is tapped out. And Merit Lage comes down. David using a Magikarp Pokemon card here to represent his 2020 indestructible flying creature. Max seems confident that the situation is under control. He pops his Polluted Delta, 2 mana. Yeah. For the Brazen Borrower, casting Petty Theft. Return target non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Unfortunately, Merit Lage is a non-land permanent, and because it is token, it doesn't even get to go back to his hand. It just goes away forever. Very sad. David down with an Elvish Reclaimer here, getting in for a little bit of damage. He does have quite a few lands in his graveyard, so the secondary ability, static ability on the Elvish Reclaimer is that it gets +2/+2 for if there are more than 4 land cards in the graveyard. A second one tried to come down, but that caught a Force of Will. Max had to slow down this 5, or yeah, it would have been 6, 7 power beats. I mean, he would have been dead in 3 turns. So good choice there. Only being hit by 4. A Brainstorm from Max. Quick shuffle there. I'm not entirely certain what happened there. Maybe there was an accidental set of draws, or the Brainstorm, he cracked the Brainstorm in response to the Delta. I'm not entirely certain what happened there, but we're going to cast Assassin's Trophy, which is going to destroy target permanent and opponent controls, and they get to get a basic land out of the deal into play untapped. So he loses his second Elvish Reclaimer, gets a basic forest for his trouble. He fetches his Windswept Heath at the same time to get a Temple Garden. David going to his turn. He's got 0 cards in hand. He does have a Dark Depths now, though, so all he needs to draw is either something that can find him the Thespian Stage or the Thespian Stage itself, and he can be right back on track with that Merit Lage token to come down. Unfortunately, the life totals are just off the side of the screen, so I'm not entirely certain what Max is at. I think it's in either just above or just below 10. We see Max resolving a Doomsday here, so he's going to go ahead and make that 5 again. It might be the same cards, but it might be different. Since he is already tapped out, he does have a land drop for the turn, so it all depends on what he thinks he can do with the mana that he has available to him, and if he thinks he's in danger. I would think that Max thinks at this point that he does have an extra turn, because even if he draws the Thespian Stage off the top, David cannot make the Merit Lage token attack by next turn. So this might be a pile coming together that he's going to win on his next turn. Max trying to show us the pile there really quick. It was just a little too quick to go by to catch what it was. And David ticks down 1 counter on his Dark Depths, since he has nothing else to do with his mana. Attacking with the Dryad Arbor, getting a Bojuka Bog, which is going to exile Max's graveyard. I don't think it's going to matter. Baleful Strix coming down, drawing him a card. Interesting. So it was a 2-turn clock with that pile. I think Max is just playing it really safe. He must have a lower life total than I realized. All right, 1 blue, 1 green. No, he's floating mana. So he's going to sacrifice, float 2 mana, sacrifice 1 to the Edge of Autumn to draw a card. He's going to crack Misty Rainforest, pay 2, no cards in deck, Thassa's Oracle. That's the win. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that round as much as I did. We're going into round 3. Have a good night.